All right. Good morning, traders. So the SPY breaking that downtrend. But as we can see right now, the SPY is starting to dip a little bit. Be interesting to see what happens. Retail sales was better than before, which it's not really saying anything, but whatever. SGOC might get going. Alright, let's see here what we got. XCLA. Nothing there yet. We will put on the watch list. It is getting volume. Verb, another one getting volume. AEHR. SGOC dipping some more. GLG is one to keep on watch. This hasn't been over $1 in a couple of months. So break of $1. This could start moving. Well, actually, it's trying to hold $1 support now. Keep an eye on that boy. SGOC trying to hold that 10-day EMA. A lot of possible plays out the gate here. PFRX. Nothing there on CCNC. Morning, Cool J. Good morning, Lightning Rick. Morning, Lightning Rick. What is it? GLG. Yeah. It's a possible. It is definitely a possible play. Pre-market highs at 113. I'm just waiting to see if this is going to start crossing over before I look for an entry. I don't want to jump in anything that is not crossed over those EMAs. Starting to get a cross right here on TCAT though. Yeah, I'm going on TCAT here. I'm going to go 20 shares. See what I get filled at, 820. So it looks like we're going to push up, and we are getting that. Yeah, we just got that cross there. We actually broke over pre-market high on that first push. We got room up to 10. We got nothing stopping us up to $10. And we're getting pretty bullish, both. Depending on how this candle closes. This candle, as long as this candle closes above 8, then that crossover will be confirmed. We should move up on the next candle. There you go, Cecilia. That's what I'm saying, man. Stick to the strategy. You gotta stick to your strategy. Whatever works. We got a minute for this to close. Now this could have been just a quick pop out the gate. That's why this candle needs to close, because it could still dump. See real quick, SGLC starting to come back up a little bit. Yeah, bid stacking at 8, so that's a good sign. I'm actually going to move my level 2 up a little bit. PFR, let's see, okay, there we go. HGSH. This may be an interesting play. Yeah. Just keep an eye on that. Oh no, Thinkorswim, don't you start this on me. I was about to say. See, TCAT still holding up. It's about to close. Looks like it's going to close over 8, so that should be good. Yeah, I'm keeping an eye on HSGS, whatever this is, HGSH. Little upper shadow there. Ooh. If this breaks $2, this has got room to run. Let's see a little pullback. But yeah, the 200-day, it's trying to break right now. If it can break 2, it's got room up to 250 at least. XELA is starting to curl back up. I'm going to go here on XCLA. It's not across. Shit, I'm at the market. Let's see. It's not across yet, but it's kind of making this red to green move. Break of $4, it could start going. Is it not? There we go. TCAT is barely holding up. I'm going to put a little stop loss in on TCAP. And it's 20 shares. XCLA is about to test 4. Let's see. Put it below. Out of here. If we break 4, I'm adding. Lot. I'm adding 50 more. I think we're gonna break 4 here because a bunch of sellers are getting taken out of 390. Or 399, I should say. We're starting to get the crossover. That's what I was looking for, getting in there before the cross. Now, if we don't break 4, we could easily get rejected here and sell off. So, it needs to break 4 here. We are testing. I just got stopped out on TCAT. So that was a little fake out breakout. That was a little $8 loss. What's the SPY doing? GLG's back over $1. That's one to keep an eye on. Yeah, GLG. Go ahead and grabbing 100 on GLG real quick. XCLA still struggling. It's going to be a battle here. Tons of buyers at 385 on XCLL. They just all got taken out. We don't want to see that. We need to see 385 hold up. Really 390. GLG just pushed for a new high. Grabbing 100 more of GLG because it's cheap. GLG's up to 120 now. This could have been a fake out breakout because the 10-day EMA, the green line, never crossed the purple line. GLG is running, boy. There we go. Keep going. I think GLG's got some more in it. So we got an indecision candle here. If this turns into an engulfing candle, we're going to break $4. GLG still running. See if it can break 125. It's already broke 125. Bid stacking at 125. Crossover. GLG is looking pretty decent right now. Good morning, Fat Boy Drizzy. Good morning, Lori Lee. You know, there's always long-term, short-term trades and stuff. They're not going anywhere. Just because you miss some doesn't mean that you can't make money on them in the future. See, selling pressure is trying to keep this candle below top of this red body of this other candle. We still got a few minutes left. There's plenty of time. It can still push above it. Yeah, 390 bids is trying to stack there. GLG having a little pullback. That's okay. Yeah, I think that's just getting going. XELA coming up, ready to test 4 again. Bunch of sellers getting 8 up at 396. Yeah, they're still holding in there. They didn't get 8 up yet. Yeah, I don't like that. This candle closes red, we're probably going to have a sell-off. A minute and a half. Yeah, this is starting to look like a sell-off. I'm going to give it a chance to bounce off of the 10-day EMA there. But not looking too good for XELA at the moment. Not at all. Yeah, this is looking bad on XELA. But see, XELA could never get, the green line could never get over the purple line. I jumped the gun on it. See if it pushes right back up or not. GLG trying to test. It's 125. I may add again if it breaks 125. Yeah, I'm adding again. So now I got 300 shares of this. I'm gonna put a stop loss in here on XELA 372 because I'm more interested in GLG right now. Let's see, should have room up to 150 at this point pretty easily, I would think. See if we can break 130 here or not. Ooh, a lot of sellers at 130. Yeah, I just got stopped out on XELA. See, I knew that thing was about to sell off. Breaking 130. Still holding up as a little resistance. There we go. Oh, no. I didn't get completely stopped out on XELA. I still got some position there. I don't know what's going on. Here we go, starting to break 130 again. This could be where we start to move. We're really struggling at 130. If it can't break here in a second, I'm probably going to lock this out. Yeah, well, there is some resistance right here. This old support, that's what's holding up, is at that 130 area. And this candle's fixing to close. I would say if we close over 125 on this candle, we'll probably see it retest 130. Actually, it's coming back up now to test 130. Close over 130, this thing's going to move. Yeah, there we go, starting to push. Yeah. Go, very nice. Very nice. Very nice. Moving on up to 140. Come on, GLG, let's get going. So we just made this new high, so if we don't break over this new high and like break over 140 in a second, I'm probably going to lock this out. I'm going to watch really carefully though, because it is trying. Here we go. Ooh, there we go. I was going to say, oh, we did it again. We're just barely touching that 139. A lot of selling there, so 140 is definitely going to be some resistance. Starting to have a little pullback here. Just looking for a little bit more of a push, but I feel like I may be getting greedy. Hmm. 130's trying to hold as support, bid stacking there. And I'm willing to hold this as long as it's over 130. We need to stop testing 130 here. It needs to start holding up. Got a lot of buying sitting at 127. So 125 ought to be pretty good support. Yeah, that's where the gray moving average is. Let's see if it's going to push up here in the last. And it looks like it's going to come back down some. Maybe though. If it gets back above 130, it's going to start moving again. Very close. the hell's going on with XCLA? How many shares do I have left of this? I have 80, so only 20 sold. Oh, that's dumb. Shouldn't have clicked away. See if 125 can hold or not. A lot of people locking out profits. Is the SPY dropping at all? Can't even see the SPY. HGSH, possible play maybe there. So they're trying to acquire a company, so they do have PR. So pre-market high was at 115. So we should at least hold 115. If we don't hold 125. Thought I got out of XCLA in a minute. Might as well hold it for a second, see if it's going to come back up any at all. Okay, this 5-minute candle's fixing to close. Get a nice indecision candle right here above this. There we go, starting to test 130 again. Let's see if we get through here. Gotta get through 130 here. We don't want to hang up on this candle. Alright, good. That's starting to run. We'll go ahead and get out of XCLA here. It's just dying off. Yeah. Well. What? Oh. The hell am I doing there? Get out of here. Alright, I got an actual, let's see. Yep. 80, 80. Okay, so that stop loss is right this time. It was a dumb mistake. I'll probably get stopped out on this, but on the off chance it comes back up. I should have been out a lot earlier. That loss shouldn't be that big of a loss. I'm a little salty about that, but that's okay. I'm 30 starting to break. I'm adding 100 more. Need to see re-break of 133. Yeah, I just got stopped out on XCLA. Okay, that was a bad trade on XCLA. Shouldn't have took that trade. Alright, back through 130. Now let's see a break of 133. You can do it. I know you can. Getting hung up at 130 again. Sketchy, sketchy. Now see if this candle closes red below this indecision candle, we're going to have a sell-off. So this needs to start pulling back up now. We got 30 seconds on this candle. We do not want to drop in. If 125 can hold up. That's an ugly close. But we're still holding up on the gray line. So, I mean, as long as we're holding this gray line, I'm absolutely fine to hold it. Because we are super bullish, even though it's consolidating at the moment. Oh, I see what's going on here. I see what's going on here. We got a flag forming. This is what's going on. That flag's actually starting to break out. Let's see. Yeah, let's go. There we go. Breakthrough 133. Let's see a break of 135 here. A lot of selling there in that area. 130 holding up. We want to see 130 hold. If buyers can hold 130, then we're going to break out higher. But so far we haven't really been able to hold 130 very well. Yep, see, we cracked back below it again. See, that's the only thing that's making me a little cautious on this, because it's having such a hard time holding above 130. That area should be strong support now that we've been above it multiple times. Again, look at that. It's very concerning. Alright, I'm trying to hold it again here. Still not holding. Taking out a lot of sellers, but yeah. Ooh. Let's see, we got a minute and a half. We don't want it to. We don't want this candle to close like this. That's an ugly candle. Alright, 130 trying to hold again. We do got a little bit of a downtrend forming there, so the flag actually wasn't there. This is the flag. Flag's 125 as the bottom, and basically 134, 135 is the top. So we're either going to break out up for another leg up here soon, or we're going to break down. Right now we're just consolidating sideways in this triangle. Gray line's pointing up a little bit. That's a good sign. Let's see here. Back. Whoop. See, almost got back over 130 again, and then right back below it. 130 is just not holding that support like it needs to be. That's a good open there on that candle. If that candle can push up. This buyer's still sitting at 126. They need to move up. That's the problem. They're sitting down there at 126 and not moving up to 130. I'm going to move the little bottom of this triangle for now so I can keep an eye on that gray line. Little pullback here. I'm trying to make sure 125. Okay. Damn, 125 should hold, and that's not even holding. That's unfortunate. This looks like this is about to sell off. I'll try to give it half a second to get back over 125. Big buyer at 124. Oh my God, you gotta be kidding me. Can't even break 125. So the tug of war is back and forth between buyers and sellers on this, and it is a heavy tug of war, but buyers need to start stepping up because they are really starting to slack. Sellers are starting to win this tug of war here. 20's holding up as support. That's the green line. I know there's a lot of some other plays you guys are talking about, but I'll get back to all that in the comments in a minute or two here. Once I figure out which direction this is gonna go, it's starting to look like a possible sell-off. $120 is still trying to hold. If 120 doesn't hold, we'll drop back down to 115. It's kind of the bare minimum support. $120 starting to crack. Nope, 120 still holding up. This candle's fixing to close. It's going to be interesting to see what it does next, because it looks like it's curling over. Like it may drop, but this little push down buyers trying to come back in here. The SPY is dropping again. Well, that could put a damn damper on things. Yep, SPY down to 433. Oh, you damn SPY. Yeah, I'm gonna get to y'all's questions and comments so far here in a minute after I get out of this, because I'm either gonna be getting out here in a second, because if this drops, yeah, if it can't hold 120 here, start pushing back up. Very close to cracking. Okay, we're seeing some strength of support at 115. A lot of buyers coming in there. CXTC running up, RCAT slowly running, whatever Moho is. XCLA just died off. $115 starting to crack. Starting to bounce off of 115 finally a little bit. It's got to get back above the EMAs here if it's going to run. We maybe got a possible trend line forming. Trying to get back over 120. I'm going to let that move around for a second. Let's look at some of these other plays. See, this is what I'm kind of expecting on GLG. SXTC had this big curl over, and then it was above all the EMAs, and then like as they were like pressing down, it just like sprung board back up. So that's kind of what I'm looking for again here. Pressing down into these EMAs and see if it can springboard back up for the next leg up. And that may or may not happen. So let's go back. Let's take a look here. The anti-smoking ad guy. Don't know what the Roblox guy is talking about. Good morning, Brian. HER's busting up. Don't follow me, RLG. Don't follow what I'm doing. Make your own decisions. Just because if you follow me, you're asking for a little bit of a little bit of trouble. You don't want to follow anybody trading. You want to do your own trading and your own decision making. No, Laura. Let's see, Laura Lee. That's not correct. It's only if you are on a margin account that you can't day trade if you're under 25K. If you're on a cash account, you can day trade as much as you want. I didn't see AACG bottoming out today. I haven't seen it today, but I did see it last night bottoming out. Uh, I'll say, oh, okay. So Cecilian answered that question about the what I was just saying about the cash account. All right, cool. So I'm pretty much caught up there with the comments. Not a lot of talking right now. We'll talk some more here in a little bit. I'm trying to see if I can get a nice win here on Friday. That's why I'm not trading anything else right now because I'm only focused on GLG. It has potential to make another leg up and could be uh, a decent move. We've had 100 million in volume on this so far. It is 97 million shares, so a little higher float than I normally would like, but real quick, while this is consolidating and figuring out which way it's going to go, I'm going to take a quick little break. I'll be right back, guys. Alright, so we're coming back up to that downtrend. Getting back over the indicators here. Let's see if this can break out. Where are you at, Lori? Because if you're not American, then it depends on the country. There's some countries with no PDT rule. I'm guessing probably Canada. Because if it's Canada, you guys have some weird trading restrictions that are worse than the United States, from my understanding. Yeah, so actually we can... That is a trend line that has started, if that can hold up. Oh, Taiwan? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you about Taiwan. I don't know anything about Taiwan. But if starting to crack a little bit here. Got to stay above 115. And there's a lot of buyers in there at 115. Ooh, and they just all got taken out. This is not looking too good now. I'm still holding 115. Are you using Thinkorswim? No problem, Lori. I'll try to help you out with as much as I can. Is that what you're trying to use as Thinkorswim, or are you using a different broker in Taiwan? So if you go to TWSE regulation, intermediate brokers, I'm not familiar with that broker. See, pre-market highs at 113, so that should be the bottom support. I don't like this indecision followed by this red candle. I get that. I get that because America right now in the crypto world, we only have a few brokers to choose from for cryptos. So I get that feeling. So I use Coinbase Pro to day trade cryptos, and it's awful. The charting is awful. It's just awful. It's just good for pressing buy and sell. That's all Coinbase Pro is good for. Trying to hold that pre-market high. If we hold that pre-market high right here, then I may add. See, we did just get the crossover to the downside, though. I'm gonna give it a chance to try to come back up here. I don't know if I want to add with that crossing over the downside. Well, for one Sicilian, I would go a little bit less shares. I mean, how many shares did you go? Because if you lost $74, that's you must be going a pretty high share size. Because this is going to take you getting comfortable, being confident and pulling the trigger when you see a good opportunity. Yeah, you bought 1K shares. Yeah, you're way too new to be trading that many shares of something. You gotta take your time, man. It's baby steps. It's baby steps. You're not gonna get rich overnight. You gotta get that greed out of your head. You're trying to make as much money as fast as you can, and that's gonna get you in trouble. You got to take the money the market gives you. Like, I should have locked this out up here at 139, and even when it popped back up to 136, would have been a decent win. But I didn't lock out. Now I'm stuck here, sitting here with bag holding, waiting for this consolidation. Just because Verb's down or any stock is down from the day before or whatever doesn't mean it's going to be a good day trade the next day. It may not do anything. It depends on the volume. But we'll take a look at Verb in a second. Because it looks like this is going to crack this pre-market high. Which means it'll come back down even lower. It'll probably drop back down to 105. But I can't hold it down to 105. It's got to hold here. I got to get out. So is this triangle more like this? Yeah, so triangle's more like that. So it is at the tip of this triangle. So it very easily could break to the downside here. more than likely. Unless we see buying volume start coming back in all of a sudden to push it back up. So now we're going to test that 110. SPY dumping is really annoying. See, do we crack below yet on the SPY? No, we're still holding up. Let me get rid of this downtrend line. Still holding up at 10-day EMA on the SPY. Yeah, but you gotta stop. Like I hate saying would've and could've and should've. Like it really hurts my soul to say that. But there's not really any way for me to explain to you guys what I'm doing wrong unless I say that. But I don't want you guys to get in that habit of I would've, I could've. You know, that mind state is going to cause you a lot of issues. Because you're going to keep thinking about that. And it's going to resonate in your mind. And the next time you go to trade, you're going to be like, oh, last time I would have, if I would have done this one thing, then I would have made money. So I'm going to do that thing this time. And then it doesn't work out. So, like I feel like a hypocrite saying that. But I really don't like saying woulda, coulda, shoulda's. It's just I have to kind of explain. You don't, as a trader, you don't want woulda, coulda, shoulda's. The only thing that you care about is when you are in the trade, and that's it. Like whatever happens in the trade, that's what happens. What could have happened is irrelevant. Doesn't matter. It's not growing your account. By thinking of what could have happened, or what would have happened, or what should have happened. You can only grow your account by what does happen. That's good. That's good that you called it out. Take it as a positive that, hey, you called a play that you thought was going to go up and it went up. You know, take that as a positive thing. You're learning, so that's a good thing that you're calling those plays. But don't worry about the would-have, could-have, should-haves because there's going to be plenty of opportunities. Like that's the thing, the stock market's not going anywhere. And even if the stock market crashes, if this is going to be the big correction I've been talking about, there will be plenty of opportunities because after the crash, then we got to go back up. And that time is one of the best times to be a day trader because pretty much everything is just shooting up because prices got so low that the overall stock market is shooting up. Yeah, exactly, Brian. Brian nailed it. Don't trade off emotions. Stick to your plan. Stick to your strategy. Can't let emotions get to you. Sometimes they get to me, even after 7 years of trading. Sometimes my emotions get to me. I try to be a robot, but I'm just not a robot. Tempted to add, possibly. Yeah, I mean, you don't have to trade every day. I trade every day because I'm doing a live stream 5 days a week. I really should take some days I should like not trade at all. Like yesterday would have been a better day not to trade at all, or the day before. Uh, so we are right here. We are right in the tippy tip of this triangle. So the move, one way or another, is about to happen, either up or down. Well, SPY curling up. It's trying to come back up. We gotta break back over this downtrend. If we don't break back over this downtrend, it'll just keep selling off down the downtrend. Need to see a trend reversal right here, a pivot. That's the discipline. That's why you gotta have discipline as a trader. You've got a strategy that worked for you for like a month. You were agreeing on all your trades and stuff, and then all of a sudden, this last week and a half, you've been like going ham doing other things other than the strategy. when you get when that's not the market's fault or anything. That's just your fault. You gotta be disciplined. And discipline as in the stock market is just the same discipline that it takes in your personal life to do any of the stuff, exercising, eating right, all of that. So if you're sitting at home every day, laying in a beanbag chair with one finger up your butthole and the other handful of Cheetos, and you're watching reruns of Crocodile Hunter with Steve Irwin from the 90s, then you're probably not very disciplined. So when you go to start day trading, you're going to run into some discipline issues. I suffer from it. Like, discipline is a hard thing for me because I am anti everything that is control, and discipline over myself is a form of control. So I have a mental conundrum where my brain fights with myself about about discipline. Like I failed my strategy today. like I said, this would have been a decent win to lock up here off of this high. The whole strategy is to buy it off of the damn indicators and sell it when it's way off of the 10-day EMA. Well, that was pretty far off of the 10-day EMA, but I didn't stick to my strategy. I was undisciplined and was being greedy, thinking that it would break 150 and move to break 140 and move to 150. I was trying to lock in 10 more cents. Like, I was greedy over 10 cents per share. Like, really? You know, that's just how it goes, man. As a trader, you gotta look in. Now, I will tell you, and some people might think this sounds crazy, but meditation, daily meditation, in my opinion, is one of the best things entrepreneurs can do for mental strength and discipline. Because it takes discipline to do the meditation daily, right? So it's something easy. You know, the reason we have to be disciplined and do things we don't want to do, or do things that we have to be disciplined for, because it's usually things we don't want to do. Like, most people don't want to go on a diet. If you love pizza or you love food like me, and I'm in Wisconsin, man, I try. Like, I go up and down in weight because I'll sit there and exercise, start getting back in shape, and I'll fall off the wagon because I ate some cheese curds or a pizza or a gyro or something. Like, oh man, this food is so good. So, like, that lack of discipline, it can get you, but it transfers over. It's all through life. And as an entrepreneur, when you're trying to run your own business, you got to have discipline for your business or businesses. Same thing with shopping. You got to be disciplined with your personal life budget. If you're not budgeting your expenses, your living expenses, and I mean everything, your bills, your food, your water, your budget for going and buying bullshit that you go buy, whatever it is. We all got some type of bullshit fetish that we like to buy. And I don't mean fetish in like a sexy way. I just mean, like, you know, we all have our little quirks where we're like, oh man, I gotta buy this. You know, so you need to budget in your personal life. That'll help with discipline as well. And what I like to say is, you need to run your personal life budget and finances like a business. Because if you run your personal finances like a business, then you will have more money, right? If a business runs really well, then you get more money. If you run your life very well, then you will get more money, right? So a business is nothing but a title on top of a person. Like, that's the thing with all these systems and all this stuff. It's all people. Like, I'm trading in Thinkorswim right now with these candles and these lines and the time and sales and level 2. But all we're really trading is people. We're just trading off of people's emotions and psychology and all of that. That's what all these little indicators and all this stuff means. Volume. It's just, what are people doing? Are they buying the stock more, or are they selling the stock more? Right? So yeah, that's what I'm saying. You gotta take it slow. You know, you're buying a bunch of shares on plays you're not ready for. We're starting to pop back up. Trying to pop back up. Spies looks like it may try to dump again here. Oh, and if the SPY dumps here, if we drop below 433, we're going to be cracking the 10-day EMA. We'll go down to 430. Maybe time. It may be that time. See, the line could have been right the first time. This could be the downtrend. Yeah, that's the good thing, and that's the Lori's exactly right. It's a good thing that you're learning from your mistakes and catching them early. But that's the good thing about having a community like this where, we all can call each other out. That's what I was saying last night on the last trip. If you guys see me starting to go too gung ho today, to reel me in. But I've not went too gung ho. This is only my third trade. You got a degree, Sicilian? Let me ask you a question. Oh, 4 years from now. Okay, never mind. That's right. I thought you were young. I was gonna say you got a degree already. That's pretty impressive. I read that wrong though. Oh, SPY's about to crack 433. I don't know. I may have to just jump out of the market here. But this is still holding up, even though the SPY is dropping. This really hasn't dropped much. It's still trying to hold up. But it's got to get back bullish. Right now we're just in sideways consolidation. Well, the market's not. It's not really weird to see this type of pullback, and we were having this type of pullback in the market. It's not going to be a hot market. Like, we had a hot market there for a couple of weeks because the SPY just started pushing up again and pushed and pushed and pushed. So a lot of stocks were ripping. The point we're at now, the stock market's not ripping and it's not crashing yet. So we're in indecision. When I talk about the indecision candles on a 5-minute chart, that indecision is the same indecision that we're seeing on a longer time frame on the SPY. We're seeing a lot of indecision in this 430 to 437 area where the SPY could go either way. It could rebound if the Feds can keep it up, but the Feds are not going to. They're about to start tapering. I think they've already started slowly tapering, and they're not telling anybody, because that's what I would do if I was in charge of the Federal Reserve and had the agenda that they had. I would be like, oh, we know the stock market's going to drop if we tell them we're tapering. Let's say that we're talking about tapering and start slowly tapering. And then we'll run with that for a month or two, and then we'll say we're talking about meeting about tapering. And then here in another month, they'll be like, oh, we're going to have a meeting about tapering. And then in another month, they're going to be like, oh, we've decided that we're probably going to taper in that meeting, so get ready. And all the meanwhile, they've been tapering, just keeping everybody occupied with nonsense. That's what I think is going on. That's why I think we're seeing this pullback in the SPY. I think we hit new highs. Inflation did that jump. And the CPI index is not correct for inflation. If you use the CPI index, it only measures consumer prices. There's so many other things with inflation that you got to take into account for measuring. So the CPI is lower than what real inflation is, and they know that. The Feds know that. They're not going to They're not going to tell you that, but they know that. But because we are getting to a sketchy point in the market, I'm going to do a video about why I think the market is going to have this big correction. I think I did one already, but I'm going to do another one. And I'm going to explain the options that you have as a trader and investor to protect your wealth during a downturn in the markets. But that's going to be a pretty good video. And the setup video for this setup for Thinkorswim, I recorded it yesterday and it's partially edited. I just got to finish editing it. So after the stream here, I'll have it up in a couple of hours probably. Maybe sooner, depends on how much dumbness I have to cut out of the editing from my talking. You guys hear me talk on these live streams, and you hear the pauses, the spaces, the sometimes the uhs or whatever. You know, some words I tend to repeat. Well, I have to edit all that shit out, so in the actual videos, and it is not fun. Volume is dying off on this for now. We're not getting any buying volume back in. Although we still do have this little trend line. This little trend line is trying to hold. Daniel B just come in the chat. Yeah, this doesn't look good. It's just that uptrend I was just trying to draw just started cracking, and we're just in this downtrend now. Got to hold 110 support here, which doesn't look like it's going to happen. See, the 50-day is at like 107. SPY still trying to hold that 433. Yeah, I think we may be done here. It is Friday. Later it gets in the day. See volume decreasing. I'm gonna take a look at a few other things. SX. Man, that was a good run on this. SXTC. If I can hold $2, could be a possible play. TRIB, nothing really there. Let's see. GXGX, this just started popping. It's a nice slow climb. AHER got a double top, little mountain there, two mountains in a row, so that's probably going to sell off. XELA is starting to come back up a little bit. No one leaves the house. I know, that's the thing, man. Like, I had two cars, but I ended up selling one because my wife, she only works 5 minutes away from the house. And I don't go anywhere. I literally don't go anywhere. Like, I have Amazon and Myers for all my groceries and all that stuff set up where it's delivered. I don't go anywhere. Very rarely do I make an appearance outside of my house. Oh, Daniel B, looking for a full-time mentor you'll pay in cash? I don't think anybody is going. Well, I don't know. Some people out there might like to get paid for you to talk trash to them and tell them how they're mentoring you wrong. SXTC getting a little bounce off of that $2 area. Don't want to take a shot. I might take a shot. See if I can get filled here. So I got 50 there of X whatever. SXTC. I may add more. If we start breaking 210, I'm going to add to it. Newegg had a good rip today. I didn't see Newegg. We are in a downtrend on the SXTC, so we do got to break that soon. That's what I was saying, that 210. I actually have. I was thinking about book reading yesterday versus watching videos because Daniel B's a big proponent of books. I actually am decided I'm against books, and I'll tell you why. Two reasons. Well, actually, just one reason. Time. Time is our biggest asset. With books, you have people who write all types of extra stuff to fill out those pages because they're trying to sell you that book, right? So you get all types of fluff and nonsense and all of that in there. Well, it takes me forever to read a book. Versus I can go and watch. Plus, also, okay, there's two reasons. The second reason, besides the time aspect, is the perspective and point of view. With a book, you only get one perspective. That's the perspective of the author. The time it takes me to read a book, I can watch 20-something YouTube videos at least with 20 different perspectives about the same thing. And I'm going to learn more from seeing different people's perspectives on that topic than I am reading that one book that took me forever. So reading books, for one, it's a waste of time. Number two, you're getting one perspective. And to me, that's not valuable. Well, think about what a book is. I mean, books have been around forever, and books have always been sold. And also, books have been used to control. Like, all a book is one person's perspective. So I don't know why we give so much weight to one book. I mean, think about a 1930s, we're starting to break right here, that 210. Think about a 1930s, I might have 50 more, science book versus a science book now. If you read a book of science in the 1930s, it's going to be irrelevant to what the science book says now. So that's another thing. Like, books, I believe, are used to control. Like, school is used to control. You think about it. You got to be on time to school. You got to sit there and shut up, and you got to do everything the teacher says. And the way you learn is you repeat back what the teacher tells you. Like, that sounds like brainwashing in a movie. Like, if you took the classroom out, the nice little happy teacher, the desk, the nice little happy kids with the little Batman lunchbox, and you put somebody from one country in a room and then started interrogating them and treating them like a teacher treats a student, and then started making them repeat things, that is literally one of the techniques that they use to get people to turn on other people. Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying you can't learn anything from books. What I'm saying is it's not efficient to learn from books. It's not efficient, and it's also control. It's controlling your time. You're literally spending all that time reading one person's perspective. Just because I see things outside of the box one life doesn't mean that it's not accurate. That's my perception. You don't got to see it my way, but for people who are open-minded, I'm just throwing that out there as something to think about. No, I didn't go to college. Are you crazy? Why the hell would I go to college in America? That's the last thing you want to do. You think as
as cheap as I am and as money hungry as I am that I'm going to go and pay $100,000 to go sit in a classroom for some jackass to tell me some dumb shit about stuff that doesn't even matter, like trigonometry. Like, who uses trigonometry? There's other just garbage degrees now too. Like, so many bad degrees. Like, you can get a degree in the Beatles. The degree in the Beatles. Let me repeat that again for the third time. A degree in the Beatles, the rock band. That is not going to help you whatsoever in your life. So no, I did not go to college, and I'm very happy that I didn't go to college. Exactly. Daniel B just nailed it. Thank you, Daniel B. I know you like to troll for months on end, but every once in a while you drop a good jewel, and there it was. So thank you, Daniel B, for dropping a good jewel. Education is not the same as knowledge. Same as price is not the same as value. Education, you could be educated in killing sheep. Like, you could go to a sheep killing school if that was the thing, and if that's all they taught you to do was how to properly kill a sheep and use its wool and its meat and all of that, well, you would be educated in killing sheep, but that doesn't mean you're going to know anything about economics or anything else. So, like, degrees, they're worthless nowadays. There's no point. Now, if any of you are in college already, hopefully you're using the government's money, or you got some type of scholarship, something where you're not going to be owing a bunch of debt after college, because that's the trap. That's the trap. They want everybody. They literally train everybody to do the same thing. They train you when you go through elementary school through high school. They train you to go into college. Once you're in college, they make you get a bunch of debt. It takes you 4 or 5 years of your time. And let's be honest, there's some people out there who could probably get a degree in 1 year that it takes some other people 4 years. It doesn't make any sense even to have a set amount of time to even get a degree. Everybody learns at different speeds, so that doesn't make any sense whatsoever in the first place. But I'm not telling you to not read books. Like, you're misconstruing what I'm saying. I'm saying personally, I don't think it's efficient. Now, some people can read way faster than I can. That's a different story. Like, if it takes you an hour to read a book, well, then that's not bad. You're only wasting an hour. But me, it takes me hours upon hours, because looking at words doesn't really help me. I have to do the thing. I'm one of those people who can't just read and read and read. Like, I have to do the thing. That's why I like stock charts and trading and all that. Like, I don't have to read a book necessarily to learn how these work. I can just do like I did with this new strategy and create a new strategy and try it out. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. I don't need a book to tell me what to do. Because once again, all of this everything that's on this screen right now is just buying and selling of people. That's it. I didn't say go learn from fake gurus on YouTube or anything. I didn't say that either, Daniel B. But there's a lot of good YouTube channels out there Just like there's a lot of bad YouTube channels out there. It's you gotta stop thinking so extreme one way or the other. That's I think a problem in the world right now is people think to the extremes one way or another. But there's always, and I don't even like saying good or bad, but there's always perception between people of some things are good and some things are bad. I've said this many times before, but we got a lot of new people in here. So candy to a diabetic is death. Candy to a kid is the greatest thing in the world. So how we perceive good and bad, is not as clear cut as black and white, and I'm not even talking about skin color, so don't even start on that. I'm just saying the back and forth of good and evil, the balance, all of that is just perception. Now, most of us can agree on what's bad. Like, most of us would agree that murder is bad. But we're not all going to agree on how healthcare should be run. Right? We all have difference in perception. So, if you think one politician is doing something good in your eyes, it may be bad in other people's eyes. So the same thing will apply with books. It'll apply with YouTubers. There's going to be bad YouTubers. There's going to be good YouTubers. There's people out there, I guarantee it, who think I am a hack and think I am the worst trader ever and the worst YouTube channel ever. I guarantee there's people out there who think that. And that's absolutely fine. I don't care. Like, I'm just doing what I do. But that's the point of that perception is a big thing. Like, keeping that in mind while you're thinking about anything in your life can help with some clarity on things. Because we tend to, once we get a thought in our head as humans, we tend to stick to that thought. Especially the ones who are hard-headed and stubborn and closed-minded. We don't want to open Pandora's box out of fear or out of tiredness or whatever. But Pandora's box is up here. Pandora's box is not some hidden thing. Pandora's box is your brain. So if you stay closed-minded, you'll never open Pandora's box to see what's in there. If you stay open-minded, you might get that chance to open up Pandora's box and learn a whole new world. Because the world in front of you that you see, schools and government and all of that, that is all a perception, a figment of reality that is only there because it was put there. Without human beings in the picture, economies, governments, all of that stuff are nothing. They wouldn't exist. We would just have trees and animals. I told you why you don't stick to your own strategy. It's because of discipline. You got to work on discipline. Start thinking about what you do in your personal life that you could be more disciplined on. Think outside of trading. Think outside of the box. But I talk about a lot of moving pieces in life because there's more. It's not as simple. That's what I was saying. Like, that's how closed-minded you are as I'm saying all these things that all correlate in some way to the bigger picture of what I'm talking about. You're like, what does all this stuff got to do with the other? Because you're not even thinking about what I'm saying. You're just letting it go right through your ears and be like, he's just talking crazy. Open your mind. Open Pandora's box. Let my thoughts resonate in your brain for a little bit. If you want to understand what I'm saying. If not, don't worry about it. Um, I didn't say you're stupid, One Life. Being closed-minded doesn't mean you're stupid. That's a total different meaning. It's not the same words. You can be very, very intelligent and still be closed-minded. I don't consider myself smart. I consider myself a student. I consider myself always learning. So when I say all this stuff, it's not that I think I'm smarter or better than anybody else. I actually don't. And a lot of times, I hope I'm wrong. Like, a lot of times, the things I say, like, I really hope I'm wrong. People think I doom and gloom a lot for some purpose, some crazy agenda purpose or whatever. But the truth of the matter is, when I say stuff that's doomy and gloomy, I really do hope I'm wrong. Like, I hope I'm wrong about the economy and what's going on with the government and all that stuff. I really do hope I'm wrong. You know, the only thing, even with the stock market, if the stock market has this big correction, I'd prefer it didn't overall, because I mean, a lot of people are going to get caught and lose a bunch of money, but that's the nature of the game. But if it does drop, I want to be prepared and ready to buy these good stocks. Let me pop back over to SXTC here. It got rejected at that trend line, so it looks like it's going to drop. It's got to still hold $2, and it may not. We're building higher lows, though. As long as it holds $2, it should be fine. GLG is starting to come back up. Yeah, finally breaking the downtrend on GLG, so it's trying. I'm going to keep an eye on this for a minute, though. Truth does scare people. Exactly. Ben Stone, perfect metaphor there. Perfect. One Life. That's how close-minded you are, man. You don't have to agree with me. The stuff that I'm saying, the stuff I say about economics and your personal lives and psychology, all that stuff I say, nobody has to take it and run with it. You know, you can take what I'm saying with a grain of salt. My word is not the end all be all. I say I'm wrong all the time. So for anybody to think that I'm coming from a place of my word is the end all be all, that's not how I operate. I can change on a dime if I'm presented new information. Like, my mind can be changed. Whereas One Life, I've been saying for a year now that inflation was going to get bad. I called inflation before it really happened. And you just like, nah, man, you're crazy. My life's fine. I said that America was getting split. America could fall. The U.S. dollar's dropping. Everything is getting consistently worse, as I've been calling it for a year. So whether or not, you agree with me, there is, you don't have to. You can pretend that everything is all hunky-dory, but when it comes to what is going on in reality, just because your reality is fine at the moment doesn't mean that reality for the overall economy in the world is fine. It's not just books, though. See, that's where you're not getting the point, One Life. That's the whole point. It's not just books. My whole argument, my whole thought process of why books are inefficient to me and why they're a form of control goes out all the way to the whole big picture that I just talked about. It's all about perception. That is what I'm talking about. So yes, I talked about multiple different subjects, but it all wraps back in and ties to my whole argument of books. What I'm trying to get other people to think about is how they perceive things. Books was a simple example to use, but my overall message for pretty much everybody is think about how you perceive things, because just perceiving things differently could change your whole trading, could change your whole life. There's no guarantees of that. It might not, but it could. Yeah, I know the whole subject. That was, you see what I mean? Like, I just brought it all back around together and tied it all into a nice little box with a bow on top of what my original point is, and you're still talking about just books. It goes beyond just books. It's like Elon Musk didn't look at a car lot of a bunch of cars and say, well, I guess we're going to have gasoline cars forever. He looked at that car lot of gasoline cars and said, I wonder if there's something better than gas, something more efficient, something cheaper. He did not just simply observe reality and go, okay, that's a car lot. He looked at reality and looked for a solution. His perception is why Tesla is $1 billion company or $1 trillion company, and he's one of the richest men in the world. That is the point I'm making. Books is just a minuscule level of the whole overall point. So, like I said, you guys don't have to, take it with a grain of salt. Some of those books describe situations from an inside environment from one person's perspective, Daniel B. If you have the choice to hear 20 people's perspective about one topic in an hour versus one person's perspective about a topic in an hour, why would you choose the one person's perspective over the 20 people's perspectives? You're going to learn a lot more from those 20 people's perspectives. And you're not just going to learn from what they're saying and what they're teaching in those videos or whatever it is you're looking at. You're also going to learn 20 different perspectives and the psychology behind those if you're looking to learn that. There's more than just the surface. Like, you guys are so surface driven. You just look at the surface of everything and you're just like, surface. This is what's going on. Like, Daniel B, your biggest argument is indicators and lines don't work. Well, they might not work for you, but they work for other people. Perception. I've read one book. This book right here. This is the one book I've read. And that book changed my perception. Robert Kiyosaki perceives things differently. There's a lot you can learn from the way he perceives things, but when you're trying to be I don't even have time to read a book. I'm running a channel right now. I'm running 2 channels right now, and day trading, putting out at least 3 videos a day, Monday through Friday. I don't have time to read a book. I'm too busy doing. And that's my point. It's not efficient for me to learn by reading books. You just perceive it as, oh, books are the end all be all, but they're not. Daniel B., you can't say that it never works. You can't say indicators never work. Indicators work just fine. Like, it depends on who you are and what you're using. And you don't have to use any indicators, or you can use a lot of indicators. The fact you think that there's only one way to make money in stock market is really crazy to me, because I've already proven this point a while ago. You can't give me an argument that there's only one way to make money in the stock market when you can short, right? So there's at least two ways to make money in the stock market, at least two. So your argument is null and void, sir. You can't say there's one way to make money. There's two actual ways that at least exist. Indicators do work. So you got me all distracted. It's all right, though. I mean, what do you call this? The price crossed over there. The green line crossed over the purple line, and when that happened, this ran from 153 all the way up to 228. I mean, even before that, ran to 194. That's a good win. GLGG still holding up at that 110. If that continues to hold, see what happens there. Ooh, Spy's getting real close to dumping some more here. If the Spy dumps here, it's probably going to drag everything down. AH. Yeah, that's why you gotta, exactly. That's why you got to be careful. And this was a triangle too. You can see it has a perfect consolidation triangle, and it got rejected and dropped out the bottom. But Daniel B will say these lines don't matter. Even if I took the lines off here and you're looking at this on the chart, what would you think is going to happen out of that, Daniel B? This was building higher lows and lower highs at the same time, indecision. Would you have thought that was going to happen on the next candle because you didn't use indicators? No. You would have had no idea that big drop could have come. But that's the thing. When you got a triangle in one life, you know the triangles. You're a triangle guy. Once a triangle cracks, the sell-off can be big. That's why you got to get out. But that's why you got to know, you got to have some type of strategy that you're sticking to keep your losses small. It's a delusion. Technical analysis goes beyond the stock market, Daniel B. You literally use technical analysis for produce and all types of things. It's not exclusive to stocks. The idea that it's exclusive to stocks and it's useless is insane. Like, you're literally ignoring all the other use cases where technical analysis is used across many different sectors. So either reality is a delusion, which I'm willing to have that conversation, or you are the delusional one. Daniel B needs a lot of hugs. He actually needs more than hugs. He needs some puppies, but I'd be afraid he'd like kill the puppies because they didn't potty the right way that he wanted them to potty. Why didn't you lift your leg when you pee, dog? What's wrong with you? Don't you know there's only one way to pee? You gotta lift your leg. My books from 1920 told me that. Lori Lee. Smart. AHA, yeah, it just now took souls. That's why I haven't really paid much attention to it, because I just didn't. I don't know. I mean, I've been in GLG, but I don't know. Oh, GLG is starting to come back alive here. A little bit. Possibly. XTC still trying to hold, but probably going to crack too. Daniel B is soft at heart. Yeah. He is. Me and Daniel B's had personal conversations and stuff on Skype. For a lot of you new people who don't know, Daniel B is the biggest troll in the community, but Daniel B is a good guy. He just likes to be an a-hole. But Lori Lee, I like what you said, that we're both right. And anybody who did not get what Lori was saying right there when she said that we're both right, it goes back to my whole discussion about perception and books. What H&H trader? What how, man? It's just now heating up. Market's just now starting to heat up. What are you talking about? Spies had it sell off. You know, it might sell off some more, but man, what are you doing? You can't give up trading yet. No, I'm just kidding. It is a slow morgy market. That is for sure. XTC still holding up at 2. Don't beat yourself up. Don't beat yourself up, Sicilian, about your loss. Learn from it. You know what you're supposed to do. Figure out this. This is your homework, Sicilian. I'm giving you homework. Alright? I want you to think all weekend about your strategy and what you've been doing this last week and a half. I want you to think about it. And I don't want you to think of would've, could've, should've's. I want you to think about what happened. What actually happened. I want you to think about the losses you took. and the wins that you took, and think about everything that you did while doing those, and see if you can improve on that strategy, improve on your discipline by thinking about it. If you are into meditation, I highly recommend meditating about it. Because if you can reach that meditative state and think about it in that meditative state, you will have non-biased clarity on your trading. Because a lot of times as humans we get bias. We get bias in our trading, and this happens so much, and this is why FOMO exists in the first place, the fear of missing out. We see a stock that we like, it's got a nice chart pattern, all of that, and it's got all the criteria for a ripper, and that's good, but you don't want to have a bias of that. You want to realize that those things are happening, but the price could easily go against all of those things. We've seen it happen all the time. So you don't want to get stuck in a bias of a stock, which kind of I'm like being biased on GLG today because I really think it's going to try to run again, but I absolutely could be wrong. Whoa, SXT starting to drop. I'm about to hop out of this. That was a quick drop there. Cracking down. Could not hold that $2 support. Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and cut that loss. I'm not going to sit in that. But you want to be impartial to the stocks you're trading. You don't want to have a bias. Just because everything looks good does not mean it's going to rip. All right, Hal. Talk to you later, buddy. See you later. Wow, Daniel B. So people are just naive and stupid. Impressive. No, I'm not. I'm not touching a $260 stock or whatever Merdona is. Not everybody is trading. What is Merdona? Is it an mRNA or something? Yeah. So I mean, it ran up, but you got to put so much. You got to invest so much just to get that run. That is my problem with it. So, alright guys. We'll get a stream about 10-15 more minutes here. I am going to take a quick little break. If you guys have any more questions, suggestions, any of that, go ahead and leave those in the chat here, and I'll answer them when I get back. And then we'll call it a day on this Friday. I'm probably going to continue to hold GLG for a little while. And I'll let you guys know how it goes on the last rip, unless something dramatic happens before we end the stream. But I don't think anything dramatic is going to be happening anytime soon. It's just slowly going sideways. But I'll be right back. All right. The website is going to be fully active hopefully by next week. Hopefully by like Monday. I'm because John and Hal, H&H Trader, are going to have communities and their own teachings and stuff on the website. That was not something I originally thought they were going to be on board for. I thought they were just going to be on board for the YouTube channel, but they both have committed to Framework Fortune, which I really appreciate, and they're going to be a part of the website too. And so that's kind of what has been taking a little bit longer, is because I got to get them set up too on there, and we're working out the setup a little bit, because my cousin built the website, did a very nice job, but they've got some ideas and I want to hear their ideas to incorporate into the website and all of that. But we are getting very close to being finished. Yeah, if you haven't checked the website lately, there's a few changes that have started happening. You can see the progress. The website is up. You just can't sign up for it yet. But you can see on the homepage there's a few things that's been added. We're trying to make it a very good experience. We don't want. I want to get it out ASAP. John and H&H Trader want to get it ready ASAP, but we want to make sure that it's good for you guys, for the community. We want you guys to have a seamless experience and be able to, because the way it's set up as far as the community part is, I'll have a forum for the crypto. I'll have a forum for the stocks. John will have his forum. H&H Trader will have his forum. We'll have a general forum, but it basically acts kind of like Facebook or a social media site within those forums, because you can comment on things, you can start your own discussion, you can like things. So it's going to be, I want it to be where everybody in the community can interact with everybody all the time. So we're not just interacting just during the live streams or through comments, and you'll be able to get a hold of me too, because you have your own, everybody will have their own profile on the website, so you can directly message my profile. And of course, I'm going to be on the website as much as I can, putting out content. We're also going to put out exclusive content for the website that's not going to be on the YouTube channel. We're talking about some debates and discussions that we're probably going to have, different things like that. So I'm not going to cut down the content that's coming out on the YouTube channel though. The YouTube channel is going to stay the same, all the free content, the live streaming. But we're just going to do stuff on the website too to build this community further. And I'll probably be doing live streams both from the website and YouTube at the same time. The same live stream. So that way, if you want to be in the community, in the website community, then we'll be good. You know, you can watch the live stream from the website too. So it's a lot of pieces that are coming together that are almost all there. We're just like a couple of pieces of the puzzle away from being ready to let people start signing up. I hope so. I hope it'll be a true gym. Like I really want to build this community to the biggest global standard we can build it to, and like I've been saying, give people from within the community opportunities to work and be a part of the Framework Fortune brand and company. Sam's being a sleepy boy right now. He's not up and about. This, as H&H Trader called it, the morgue market today. Although we got GLG creeping back up here, close to a possible crossover of the EMAs. But yeah, Lori, you nailed Daniel B down on that. You're correct. Daniel B does not. He's not. You know, he doesn't really care about niceness. He just cares about the message that he wants to put out, and it doesn't care how people feel about it, which is nice. And that's why he stays around. You know, he is a troll. We argue all the time. But that's why he's not been banned yet, because he does have very good insights on a lot of things. And his perspective is a valuable perspective to listen to. I just think he could be a little bit more open-minded. But he doesn't have to. I'm not making him. You know, that's the thing about this community is I want multiple perspectives. Speaking of, since we're not getting a lot of questions at the moment, I actually want to take a minute and learn a few things from Lori. If you're not hopping off the stream here right away, Lori, what's it like in Taiwan as a citizen? Like living expenses, the government, things like that? Because I've heard that Taiwan can be a very good place if you're an entrepreneur. They tend to embrace free market there, I think, but I don't know. So I've never been out of the U.S., so I try to learn. I don't look at the media and learn what's going on outside the U.S. because most of it's propaganda. I like to hear from the actual people from those countries. First week, first day, who's counting? Whatever. Yeah, I agree, Lori. Absolutely. I want people to challenge me. I want people to challenge my perspectives and my ideas and my thoughts and stuff. That's how you grow. Discussion and debate is everything. That's why it's very dangerous what's going on in the U.S. right now with the censorship, which is why I want to start, or I wanted to start the website in the first place, is because with YouTube kind of being the way it's been, I don't have to be as reserved on the website. When my wife wasn't even born yet. So it is a free market economy. I'm sure the economy's been down. The COVID lockdowns did not help any economies. Was the economy down before COVID, or was that because of COVID? Get roasted. Jobs are badly paid. Everything is expensive. What is the currency of Taiwan? Do you guys have your own currency? Like I know some of the bigger countries' currencies, but like China's the yuan or however you say it, and then euro, and then Australian has its Australian dollar, and Daniel B. Come shop for free in Chicago. I heard that's going on in San Francisco, that they stopped they stopped arresting people for petty theft. So they're just stealing stuff all the time now. NTD, it's its own currency. Now I'm assuming it's a fiat currency. Are they printing money in Taiwan? Have they been keeping that money printer going burr? Yeah, light fee is that flight fee definitely ain't gonna be for free, but maybe you can rack up enough Gucci and electronics and stuff that you can sell it and make that money back for the flight. It's funny, but it's not really funny. It's really terrible what's going on in the US right now, but they're printing money too. Yeah. That's pretty much every country that I've talked to people about. How's cryptocurrencies looked at in Taiwan? Can you buy things with cryptocurrencies yet, or have they been adopted? Because I know Japan XLM is real big as a crypto. A lot of people use that as payments for things. USA is the greatest country on the planet. It's it was, and I think it can be again. But right now, the people steering the old great U.S. ship are steering it. Well, actually, they've already steered it right into an iceberg. So I don't know how much longer America is going to be America, to be honest, but. Only one broker there offers the possibility of buying crypto, so they're not embracing it in Taiwan. What do you mean go live somewhere and discuss? I'm here live now. Why would I go somewhere else? This is my channel. Why would I want to go somewhere else to talk? It's all irrelevant. I'm talking about economics and of other countries and stuff. If you're an entrepreneur and you live by the code of don't keep your eggs all in one basket, well then why would you keep your eggs all in one country? I'm looking to diversify and buy property in other countries, especially countries that have been having a hard time where prices are cheaper, where they don't have a Federal Reserve who's artificially inflating everything. I'm not a guru, so you're not gonna vote me out of something I'm not being. I'm just a guy. I'm just a fellow. It's a pretty cryptic topic. Interesting. Interesting. See, that's why I'm bullish on South America, because some of those countries are starting to embrace cryptos quite a bit. I think Argentina is going to be next to embrace Bitcoin as a tender. But even though we're talking about cryptos and the stock market stream, stock market, cryptos together, I mean, you've got to talk about all this. If you're an entrepreneur, you got to be ready, or a trader or investor, whatever. Like I've said before, if all of a sudden the stock market crashes and they don't plan it to fix it or whatever, then what happens? I mean, it literally, the SEC just sent me a message. Well, actually, TD Ameritrade sent me the message, but it's from the SEC that if you have any OTC stocks that are not compliant, they're going to get removed from the stock market. And if you don't liquidate them before this date, you're going to be stuck with them. It says you'll be able to sell them later, but if they're stopping purchasing, so if nobody's buying that stock because the brokers have stopped purchasing, then the stock's not going to go up. So I don't know why you would hold after that. But they're doing that right now. That's about to happen. So you never know what could happen. Stock market could go away. So you got to look at other investments and other trading. One thing that's not going to go away is commodities. People are going to need, well, oil eventually could go away, but people are going to need food. They're going to need clothes, supplies. Hold on just a second, guys. I got a call. Let me see. I only get phone calls from robots I don't want to talk to. No, it ain't no credit card collector calling. I have never missed any payments. I'll look into the wealth and poverty of nations. So OTC is really no different than the stock market. The rest of the stock market. There's scams, thieves, liars, bandits who reside in the stock market too right now, outside of the OTC and the NASDAQ and NYSE. I mean, we just saw a coordinated pump and dump on AMC and GameStop this year. Neither one of those are in the OTC markets. And I know people personally who lost their life savings trying to play AMC and GameStop. So it's not really much different. That exists no matter what in the stock market. The whole stock market itself is being manipulated right now by the Federal Reserve. All the money they're pumping in, the billions that I've been talking about every month, is a form of manipulation. They shouldn't be pumping any money into stocks. That's not how free market principles work. That's a crazy thing to do. It's just they have to keep up the perception that everything's fine so the U.S. doesn't go into mass chaos, especially at this point because we've already been on the brink of mass chaos multiple times in the last 2 years. So I see what you're saying, World of Eternity, that it is grimy down there for sure in the OTC world, especially the grays. But it's just as grimy up here where we're at too. It really doesn't matter. The stock market is a rigged game that you have to continually be learning and adapting too. I mean, it's definitely rigged, but that just because something's rigged doesn't mean you can't make money in it. I mean, our whole economy is rigged right now. It's been rigged for a while. Pretty much since they took the dollar off the gold standard. That's the biggest problem. So GLG getting rejected at 120, but still holding up for now. So I'm going to keep holding it. Let's look around real quick before I call it a day. Oh, of course you did, SXTC. Look at that. Drop down, stop me out, just to start moving again. I'm very close to not using stop orders ever again. So we got a few things moving up. Nothing super crazy. Still not as hot as a day, which it is Friday. It's going to be interesting to see if the SPY holds up here. Canada's talking about reopening the border to U.S. tourists. Retail sales were higher. Biden issues business advisory highlighting growing risk related to China's actions in Hong Kong. 7 That's interesting. Janet Yellen's going to convene regulators to discuss interagency work on stable coins. Now, Janet Yellen is the same person who was saying Bitcoin bad, but she's okay if they make their own crypto coin. Bitcoin bad. U.S. coin good. Yeah, okay. Alright, so interesting. Yeah, if we close red today, right here on the daily chart on the SPY. I think I mentioned it last night. But we got this indecision candle right here at the support of the 10-day moving average. If this candle closes like this today, red, then we're probably going to see a sell-off Monday. That would be the indecision followed by the engulfing bearish candle, which would probably lead to a 423 pullback. Let's real quick, before I call it a day, let's pop on TradingView and check out some of the other stuffs that we got to look at. Let's see, Bitcoin. Oh, Bitcoin back up to 32,000. What am I looking at? What do you mean, Chris Game Boss? Are you talking about what ticker I'm looking at when I was talking about the market crashing? Oh, This is the SPY, SPY. It's an ETF. It's basically, if you don't know what an ETF is, it's just a basket of stocks that you can buy into for cheaper. So like the SPY, the S&P 500 is like the top 500 companies. I should be able to pull up, if I can remember where to get to it at. Oh, here we go. Yeah, so right here, if you go to fundamentals, if you go to analyze fundamentals, you can see what stocks are in the ETF. So the SPY number one holding is Apple, then Microsoft, Amazon, Facebook, Google. Think that is Berkshire, one of their shares. Tesla, Nvidia, Chase, that's JP Morgan. J&G, I think is Johnson & Johnson, PayPal. So these stocks are in the SPY. The SPY is the fund holding these. So you can buy the SPY and get exposure to all of these stocks. Daniel B, he's new. That's why I'm explaining it to him. That's why he's here, to learn. But there's a lot of different ETFs, and it's just ETF stands for Exchange Traded Fund. So it's just a fund. It's just a basket of stocks. That's all it is. That's the simple way to understand it. It's a basket of stocks that you're buying into. Like you don't directly own the shares of Apple. You own the shares of the SPY when you buy the SPY, but your SPY shares are based off of these stocks' performances, so averaged out. So because Apple and Microsoft are the biggest holdings of the SPY, they're going to have the biggest weight on what the overall SPY does, which when they're crashing, when all these stocks are crashing or dropping in price, it's going to drop the SPY. And that's why I look at it as an indicator of if the stock market's going to crash or not. Because if all them big ones crash, then it'll bring the rest of the market down. Here's the market watch. You can see it's mixed right now, but Apple's a big one. So that's why the SPY's kind of going sideways, because you can see Apple's red, but Microsoft is still green. Google's a little green, but the other Google is red. So it's the price is kind of going sideways because of that, because multiple of the big holdings in that fund are balancing each other out. As soon as Google starts turning red and Microsoft starts turning red, then that crash will continue to happen. But I just use the SPY. I mean, you can use the Dow Jones, you can use the NASDAQ. There's a lot of different ETFs and different exchanges that you can look at the charts for the technical analysis. I just use the SPY because it's just what I've always used. It works pretty good. SXTC about to break over 215. And GLG still just slowly going. Here's the new downtrend on GLG. Do you like the S&P? That is, you like the funds or the stocks that are in the S&P basket? And that's what I was saying the other night on the last rip. There's these funds like the SPY And then there's inverse of the SPY. QQQ is another one that's like the SPY. Where's it at? I don't have it on here, but I've got the inverse in ETF of the SQQ. So all of this is just going to be short whatever those stocks are in the SPY, basically. So if we go to that where's it at? Analyze fundamentals. You can see there's nothing in there. It's just a fund where they're shorting the market, basically. So when you buy an inverse ETF, you're basically shorting whatever the ETF that is the normal ETF. Yeah, Daniel B's not wrong about that. It is, ETFs are less risky because you do have that balance of multiple stocks within that fund. And usually the fund managers will try to kick out bad stocks that aren't good, but with the S&P 500, it's the top 500 companies. You can't really kick out very many companies. So when they drop, when the markets drop, the SPY is just not going to perform well. But there are smaller ETFs, like I look at to get an idea of where marijuana stocks are, because for you guys who don't know, who are new, marijuana stocks is what got me into the stock market, and they've just been dead for so long, so I've not been trading them and investing in hardly, but I still put out my top 10 videos and stuff on them because I do like the cannabis stocks. It's a whole new sector, new industry. But YOLO is an ETF, which is a basket of cannabis stocks. So if we go to the analyze here and fundamentals, so actually they're not showing, Thinkorswim is not showing the basket of what's in this ETF. But because YOLO is only in cannabis stocks, there is a lot of cheaper cannabis stocks that get kicked out all the time of this fund and other ones added in, because that market is ever evolving. But I do look at YOLO on like the daily. Like I was watching YOLO for it to break this downtrend, and then I think cannabis stocks would have went bullish. But instead, they're just going sideways right now. Just still consolidating. So. But there's ETFs literally for everything. And if you want to scan for ETFs, you can use Thinkorswim to scan for them. You go up here. I got to remember exactly. I think, right here. So if I go into where I put in NYSE or NASDAQ, if I put in all funds, that's going to, and I scan, that's going to give me ETFs. But because this is specific, well, that says stocks right there, that's why. Let me clear this one. All right, and then where did I find that? Oh, yeah, right there. So all funds. Yeah, so there's a bunch of them. Let's do percent change of minimum 1% and see what that comes back with. Nothing, because it's showing stocks. Huh. I don't know. I have to work on a scanner, I guess, for ETFs, unless there's. something specific I can find. Now, if you're a real estate investor and you like REITs, which I love REITs, you can scan directly in REITs. I'm going to be talking about REITs more. If you've been following the Instagram, I've been releasing videos from my original REIT video. Because if the stock market does crash, I'm going to be looking for REITs to buy up for cheap, because we saw REITs. They always, real estate always is going to rebound. So when those real estate investment trusts crash because of the stock market or the housing market, you can buy in those REITs super cheap, and they pay out very good dividends. The ones that are profitable. But see, you can even get specific with these scanners if you want to look just into industrial REITs or hotels and resorts or offices, healthcare, residential, retail, specialized REITs. There's a lot of different REITs. I'll show you guys real quick. Do I still have REITs on here? No, I don't. I do have his dividend scanner, though. Oh, there we go. Let's look at the wrong chart. So CCLP is a technology company, but they pay out a penny REIT, and they're only $1.65. Actually, just hit a low a year recently, $1.58. I'm sorry, that's not a REIT. This is not a REIT. This is a dividend paying stock, but it's not a REIT. Probably like one of the coolest REITs is O, because O pays out monthly dividends. For every share you hold, you get 23 cents a month. And we saw O dip during COVID. The COVID crash, it was all the way down at $40 and continued to pay out its 24-cent dividend. So if we have another crash like that, and O's back down in the 30, 40 area, maybe even 50, I'll be probably buying some O up. I did have O before I got bearish on the stock market, but I sold it. I sold all my positions. That's a good saying there. Daniel B. Don't look for the needle in the haystack, just buy the haystack. That's pretty much what ETFs are. So if you want to go, if you're bullish on technology, you can find technology ETFs. If you're bullish on gas and oil, you can find oil ETFs. If you're bullish on gold, there's ETFs for precious metals. I mean, there's literally baskets of ETF baskets for everything, every sector. You'll find ETFs. But it is important that you go in and look at what the stocks are in that basket. So you make sure you're buying into a basket of good stocks and not buying into a basket of trash. So GLG is still going sideways. So I'm going to hold it for a little bit longer here today. We'll see what happens with it. I'll let you guys know in the last rip episode tonight. But I'm going to call it a day. guys have a great weekend. We will be back Monday for some live day trading in the morning. Got content coming for you guys out all weekend, so be on the lookout for that. Appreciate everybody joining me as always. Stay safe out there. Until next time. Oh, my IG? Here, I'll put it in real quick. You caught me just in time. I literally had my finger on the button. That's my IG right there. Framework_fortune. Should be able to find it pretty easy. But yeah, till next time.